Aaron, do you know the status of Damien? What his injury was?
He's being evaluated right now, just a head injury. So we don't know anything now. I don't want to give any false information.
Aaron, as you're now getting ready to get into conference play, what is the thing you think you need to improve upon the most?
I mean, you watch the same game I just watched. I mean, we give this team 86 points. And, you know, I've been talking about defense all year because I'm a firm believer that best defensive teams, better defensive teams are the ones that have a say come March. And we're nowhere near that. We're nowhere near being connected as we need to be as a team, as a unit. So we got a lot to work on, a lot.
You know, it seems like this was another one where defensively the team does come out. Maybe it's just the first 2 minutes, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions, and is right playing on top of people and maybe overplaying, and then it completely goes south with the other team. Do you see that? And why?
Could you repeat what you?
I said, you see, right? I mean, it's kind of in the same Penn, Mississippi, and today the first, I don't know, 2, 3 minutes, defense is intense, on top of guys and good, and then it's lost.
Well, it's sustaining the effort, and that's just focus. Sustaining that effort that you need to have for 40 minutes. I thought we did a pretty good job. We just got off to a good start offensively and defensively, and it was a lead on the basket for those guys, and then all of a sudden they made one shot, and it seemed like they couldn't miss, and throwing shots off the backboard and everything else. It's basketball. It's going in and it counts, and I thought we was a step slow with these guys. I just thought our communication wasn't great, and they played well. Not to take anything from them, they played well.
Can you talk a little bit about about the difference in the offense? I guess when you guys are moving the ball a little bit more. I mean, you had Zach hitting some threes tonight when you guys were moving the ball. Can you just talk to me about that?
Yeah, that's another thing. We talk about moving the ball and sharing the ball, and it's how we try to play. It's how you want to try to play the game of basketball, where everybody's a threat out on the floor, but we get in situations where it gets stuck a lot of times. So, that's something that we want to continue to work on and improve and get better. I think everybody gets excited out there when they have an opportunity to touch the basketball.
Do you think the turnovers and their offensive rebounds were the two biggest factors?
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot lead, and they're not a really big team. I just think you can talk all the technique and everything that you want. I think that's more desire than anything else. And I thought we were trending in the right direction as far as keeping teams from not rebounding the ball, but we took a step back in terms of that tonight.
Coach, KB shot 18% from three-point territory. What does he need to do to get back to hitting those shots when it matters?
Just keep shooting. You go through stretches. Guys like him that shoot the ball, they go through stretches where they're making them, go through stretches where they're not making them. Just got to keep. Only way you're gonna know if you're gonna make them if you keep taking them. So that would be my suggestion. And we got to try to help them get the right shots.
Overall, I mean, a lot was expected of this team. I mean, it's only halfway through. I'm sure you didn't expect to be 6 and 7. Where do you think things have kind of run south for you?
No, still trying to figure that out. I'm still trying to get answers because everybody's desire has to match, and winning has to be important. So until we get to that point, you're going to continue to have inconsistencies, and we put ourselves in the deep end of the water, which is fine by me, playing some pretty good teams, but we've had opportunities. So now I think we got enough data on ourselves to kind of really know, played enough games in the season to just really know. We'll see.
You know, they played, ultimately, they played like 10 guys. I think only one guy on their team played 30 minutes. You were pretty much a six-man rotation, right, except for Shane Lowe. I think teams are going to see this and throw this at you. I would imagine pressure. People are going to try to put numbers on you. How does the team, deal with it better than they looked a little exhausted at points in the second half, right?
Yeah. Again, I'm a feel guy. I'm sure I said this to you guys in here before. It started to get away from us. I wanted to go with the guys that was already in there and had a feel for the game. And even with Hasir, he had 4 fouls. Played most of the second half late second half with 4 fouls out there. So Dame being injured, Jamil being injured. We went out there with a lineup of Core and Nick. So, you got to be able to make adjustments. And it just seemed like, every time you look up, those guys were just hitting shots, and we was just out of position or a step behind. And you can't win like that.
Final question.
Your first year playing here, your second year playing here, you were like 7-7. Went down to Tulane, got beat real bad. The following year, you were like a 500 team at home. That Wake Forest game, like a 40-point game. Do you remember what you thought then of both those teams were tournament teams and did a lot eventually? How that changed and what your thought was after those particular games, right? This feels like a similar
Connected group, and we knew we came in and we worked hard and we practiced, and sometimes you don't get the results. And you had myself, Eddie Jones, Rick Brunson, and, we had a good core group of guys, and we had a great belief in our ability as a team. And so you stick with it, and we were able to turn things around.
Do you think these guys have the same level of belief in themselves and as a team?
I would hope so. Try to give them as much confidence as I can, but it's a matter of just going out there and doing your job.
Coach, can you talk to me real quick? Just what does this loss kind of do for the team morale, I guess fan engagement, all that kind of stuff?
Hurts. For me, I start with myself first. It hurts. We're not playing the way I think we're capable of playing. With that being said, we lose probably one of our better meat and potato guys in Damian Dunn, who wasn't able to play in the second half, and Jamil Reynolds, somebody that we feature on the offensive side, but it's still no excuse. All of these guys sign up to play basketball, and when everybody's getting an opportunity. So when you get your opportunity, you want to make the most of it. So hopefully they're able to get away and see their families and just kind of reset a little bit and think about what they have to do what we have to do to change the season around, and what those guys have to do individually to help us change the season around.
Thanks, Coach.